Okay, just in case somebody wants to learn it later. Okay, fantastic. First thing first, we are going to learn more words from list number 1. I think last time we did not do this. We went straight to the song. So this week we are on the word. We did these words last time. Had better, with better study. It's up to you. Tului b'cha, it depends upon you. As a result means consequently. Oh, here's Moria. Yofi Moria is here. Okay, so now the next word is for today is restriction. Does anybody know the word restriction? To restrict. Agbalal, I'll write you a sentence for restriction. Okay. Restriction, I could say let's see. During the lockdown, weddings are restricted to 20 people, 20 guests. Okay, what does it mean restricted? Anybody know?
Grades.
Limited. They are limited to. Okay.
Restricted. Okay.
Okay, you could say the government put a restriction on how many people can be in one car. By the way, it's 3 people. 3 people per car. Okay. All right, next. Consequence. Does anybody know the word consequence? In Hebrew, it's totza'ah. What's a consequence? Anybody know the word for that? Consequence? No?
You have to take consequences.
You have to look at the consequences of things. A consequence is a result. A result. Okay? And consequently means as a result. As a result. Okay? So, yeah, you could say with the you have to think of the consequences of your actions. The consequences of your actions. Okay? You have to think of the consequences of your actions, the results of your actions. Okay? Because she didn't study. Consequently, she failed the test. Okay, consequently, she failed the test. How about to solve or a solution? What's that? To solve something. Solve a problem, anybody? You've told pitawon in Hebrew. Anything else? In English. To solve is to find out the answer. Okay. The solution is the answer. Okay. So how about a sentence? Can anybody give me a sentence with to solve? Anybody want to try?
To solve?
Yeah, give me a sentence with solve. He, they, we.
Is solving.
What? What do you
The
solve?
math problem.
The math problem? Okay, good. Very good. They are solving, okay, the math problems. Good. The solution is simple. Was simple. The solution was simple, or maybe not that simple. It was difficult. Huh? Solution was difficult. No, I don't say simple. No, I say difficult. Can't decide. Okay, next. Engineering. Engineer. Does anybody know what an engineer is here? Mahandes, handasa.
Mhm.
How do I describe that in English? I have no idea. Boy, that's hard. An engineer is someone who, I don't know. Let's look in the Google. Let's look what this. I'll look for it. Sometimes I do this. I go. You write the word engineer, and then you just write down definition. Okay. So what do they say here? Engineer, a person who designs, builds, or maintains engines, machines, or public works. Whoa, madhim. Okay. And engineering is what is that when you study that. Okay, let me see if it goes back. Yeah. Okay, so let's just write that what that says there. A person who designs, builds, or maintains engines, machines, or public works. It's an engineer. Oops, I put it on the wrong side. This goes on this side. Over here. Okay, I'm doing this for you. I don't do this for my other classes. You've made it much, you're helping everybody at the opener though, because next time if I ever use this again, I have all these great definitions here. So you could say, I don't know, I want to be and I want to study engineering, in college, in the university. Okay. One of my sons studies engineering. How about this one? Last one. We have one more for today. Infection. To infect. In Hebrew, zihum, hidabek, zahem. What is an infection? Okay, you can say, he was infected with the disease. He was infected with the disease. He got an infection. He got an infection. In his leg. How do you say it in English? Anybody, any definitions, any ideas here?
What?
The word infection. Want me to look on Google? Ask Mr. Google here. Infection. Infection or infect. Infect. It says here infect. It's an infect, not affect. A person with a disease. A disease, to receive a disease. Okay. Okay. What do they say about infection? Infection is simply a disease. Those are bad definitions. Okay. Let's go back to our book, to this. Okay, fine. So infection is, to receive it, to receive a disease, disease, okay, or disease. Infection can be seen as a disease. Okay, I don't know if these words make it easier for you. So these are the words for today, okay? Number 26, restriction. What's restriction? To limit or limited, okay? It's to limit or a limit. A limit, okay? L-I-M-I-T. And we've got the word consequence. Means tota'ah, result as a result. To solve, lifto pitawon. And engineer, engineering. Okay, so which means
Design.
a person who designs or builds or builds or maintains engines, machines, or public works. Maybe that's too much for you to learn. A person who designs or builds or maintains engines, or just say machines or public works. Oh, fine. Engines. You think engines. Engines or... Okay. Anyway, you deal with that. And then here, to receive it, to infect, to receive a disease, we have 2 more words, which we'll talk about next week. And then you're going to have a quiz on these words, okay, girls? So get ready. At the end of next week, you're going to have a quiz. And I'm going to do it on Google Classroom. We're going to do it in class, okay? And at home. You're going to have to do it at home on something called Google Forms. So keep studying these words, okay? If you don't, if I didn't, I'm going to send them to the group just in case you didn't get them yet. But when you have free time, please study these words, okay? Study them, okay? Because it's not good to study just the day before the test. You need to study them all the time, okay? Just a little bit every day. A little bit every day is the best way to do it. A little bit every day. Just read them 1 time a day and you'll get it, okay? All right, so today we're in our book. We're going to work on our book and we're on page, 1 second. Where's the book? Oh, I always lose it. It's terrible.
The workbook?
No, not the workbook today. We're going to work in the main book, okay? And here it is. Do you see it on the screen? Yeah, yes. Master class. And today you're going to learn how to write a letter. Write a letter. Okay? So we're going to write a letter to the editor. Okay? What is that? Why does it say leave the meeting at the top of the page? Why do you have that on the top of the page? Leave meeting? Why? Hold on a second. Let me go back to this again. It's really weird. Why does it say leave meeting at the top of your... Is that just me? Oh, okay, fine. It's just me. Sorry. Okay. So today we're going to do something called writing a letter to the editor. Okay. Does anybody know what an editor is? An editor works for a newspaper. Very good. An editor works for the newspaper. And sometimes people write to the newspaper because they read something in the newspaper which they did not like or which they want to say more about. Maybe they did like it, but they say, you didn't say everything, and I want to tell you more. And so they write a letter to the newspaper because these people they want other people to hear their opinions, and they want to have more of a discussion with other people about this fact. Or they just want to know, they want other people to know how they feel and to know that other people feel this way. So you're going to write a letter to the newspaper, and when you write your letter, you're going to write about one of these 3 topics, okay? But first we're going to look at the example. But I'm going to already tell you what your homework is, okay? You need to work on this when you have some homework time. When do you have homework time? Good question. You have homework. You had homework time this week. Partani. I don't know. I'm going to talk to your teacher about it, but I'm not. But in any case, this is your homework.
Wait, does that say ham?
Okay. Number 1, you have to write. You choose one of these subjects. Our city does not spend enough money on education. You want our city that you live in to spend more money on education. In other words, classes for children after school, or maybe the high schools. They don't put enough money into the high school or the elementary schools or the kindergartens for children, little children. The results of this, here's the word results or consequences. The results of this can be seen in overcrowded classrooms and short school days. So what is an overcrowded classroom? Anybody know what that means, overcrowded? What does that mean if a classroom is
Too many people?
Too many people. Or maybe the days are parents want students to study more, so the days are too short. So this person is not happy. Classrooms are overcrowded, and the students don't study enough. They just send them home after a few hours. What is this? We spend money. We give you our tax money for this. We want better teachers too, whatever you want. Okay, so you're gonna have to talk. If you choose this, you need to talk about that. Or you can choose number 2. The rights of young people in the workplace are written in black and white. Despite this, many places of work continue to treat teenagers unfairly. What does it mean that people have rights? Rights of you. I have a right to this. I have a right to that. What does that mean? I have a right to something. An individual has a right to something. A person has a right to something. Anybody have
Right.
any ideas?
He has the right.
He has the right to free speech.
Permission.
Permission. Very good. I love it. The permission he's got. It's more than permission, though. You're in the right direction. It means that you are entitled to this because you're a human being and you live in this country and you are a citizen. This is what you deserve. Everybody deserves this. So in Hebrew, it's called a zchut, zchut, zchut. So the rights of young people in the workplace are written in black and white. So this is that. If you work, if you have a job, you have a certain rights, like we call it minimum wage, the minimum amount of money that somebody needs to pay you, or how long they hire you. So he says, despite this, even though we have these rights, despite this, many places of work continue to treat teenagers unfairly. Okay. And next, 1 second, there's sound back there. I'm going to turn off the sound. Anyway, I'll just go on. It wasn't so loud. And then one more. You choose one of these. The beaches in our country are often so dirty that they are declared unfit for human use. People go to the beach, they want to have fun with their friends, with their family, and what do they see? Oh, trash. Ugh. People left all their dirty diapers of their children there. Yucky. They left their cans of beer on the beach. So they say they're so dirty, they are unfit. They're not fit for human use. If they're not fit, that means that they're not appropriate for human use. Factories should not be allowed to continue. Okay, no, so we're not talking about people here. We're talking about factories. You could talk about people if you want. I don't care. But here they're talking about factories because maybe there's a big factory that makes something, anything from oil to making cans of something, and the factories make a lot of smoke and they put all their dirt onto the beach. Factories should not continue polluting the sea. This is against sea pollution, getting the seas dirty. We talked about pollution yesterday. So you're going to write about one of these. But before you do that, I'm going to teach you how to do that. Just keep this in the back of your mind. You need to choose one of these. But before we do that, let's read together an example of a different letter, okay? And I'm going to start reading. I'm going to ask you girls to read too, okay? Let me just make sure everybody's here. Tamar, Yocheved. Okay. Oh, Tamar, you're here. Oh, yeah, Tamar was here from the beginning. Just those who are not here, Batya, Ruth, and Yudit, and Shira. Oh, Yudit, you're here.
Oh, I'm here.
Yudit is here. Is Shira Hungsai here? Shira Hungsai? No. Okay, just Shira Hungsai, Shira Singsong, and Ruth Hokib, and Batya Singsong are not here? Right, okay. So let's read together. Dear editor, that means the person who was in charge of the newspaper, I was horrified to read about the senseless stabbings that took place last weekend at 2 different dance clubs. You know what a stabbing is? A stabbing? You take a knife and you stick it into somebody. Yeah. It seems to me that the authorities, the police, the people in charge, are not doing enough to combat, to fight against this phenomenon. A phenomenon. Does anybody know what a phenomenon is? A phenomenon?
Mm-hmm.
It's like something that happens. Phenomena is the plural, and phenomenon is one. It's an event, we could say, or an appearance. Unfortunately, okay, Devorah, read this end of the sentence. These, yeah, you read, Devorah.
Unfortunately,
Unfortunately, these incidents have become quite common in recent years. Nearly every weekend, we hear about a young person or security guard who is beaten, stabbed, or shot in or near this club. Tragically, some of these young people have even lost their lives. Not surprisingly, most of these incidents can be blamed on alcohol. What I don't understand is why some young people think they need to get fallen down drunk in order to have a good time. Haven't they considered the price?
Fantastic. Let's stop a second. Okay. So yes, so they say from the beginning, just to go over some words that become quite common, very common. And that tragically, people have lost their lives even. And then it says, I like this sentence here. I don't understand, the last sentence, why some people need to get falling down drunk in order to have a good time. What does that mean, falling down drunk? So drunk that you
Fall down.
fall down. Very good. Okay. Unfortunately, oh, I read this already. Okay, in my opinion, something must be done urgently right now to fight this problem. Education, how about Yocheved? Can you read Yocheved? If you want to. Yocheved? Are you there? Yocheved? Yochi, if you don't want to read, you don't need to read. If you don't want to read, don't worry, you don't need to read. But if you can't, if you want to, you can. I'd like to hear you read. Education. Yocheved, do you want to read? Or do you have no microphone? She has no microphone. Okay, fine. How about Yehudit sing song? Education.
education alone is not enough. I believe it is time for the authorities to step in. For example, have time to get
For
so
example,
drunk.
clubs. No, you skip the line. For example, clubs.
Kamisam could be forced to close at an close at an earlier or so that young people would not have time to get drunk. Convenience stores where minors of, often buy their drinks should also be closed earlier. In addition, there should be a constant police presence in the area with much more manpower devoted to the job than there is today. We
Great,
must take
great. No, stop. That's great. Okay, fantastic, Yehudit. That's very good. Okay, yeah. Okay, now Rachel Simpson, can you read the end? We must.
We must take action quickly. How many more young people need to die before the authorities wake up? Sincerely, Jason Miller. Miller again.
Correct. Okay, so now you all read really well. And now let's go on and look at the beginning. This is how does this letter work? First, in the first paragraph, they talk about the general idea. That's called the introduction. Okay? And then in the second paragraph, they talk about some background to it. Unfortunately, these events have become quite common, very common. Nearly every weekend we hear about this. So the person is describing the situation and the background. And in the third paragraph, what we can do. These are ideas of what we can do. So when you write your letters, I first want you to write an opening paragraph about what the basic problem is. And the second paragraph, you need to write about, explain it more, give background of it. And and maybe why it happens. And in the next paragraph, what we can do to stop it. Okay, and then at the end, you need to have a sincerely at the very end and your name. Okay, whatever your name is. So look at, this is the way I wrote it here. How is this letter organized? In A, they give, they want to know here. I kind of gave you the answer. Which paragraph gives background information? 1, 2, and which paragraph gives the purpose? Which paragraph was a call to action? And which was solutions? So which paragraph gave you the background information? Remember that? Any answers? So the background information was here in paragraph 2, this one. Okay. And the next, why can't I get rid of this thing? I don't know what I did. Okay. And the next paragraph, and the purpose of the letter, the purpose was in paragraph 1. This is the purpose. Okay. And then a call to action. Where's the call to action? Didn't think about that. Oh, that's at the very end. We must take action quickly. How many more people need to die before the authorities wake up? That's the last one. And then the next thing here, the solutions. Which paragraph gives the solutions? Paragraph 1, 2, 3, or 4. Which one gives the solutions?
We must take action.
The one, paragraph number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4? Remember, I said, but one paragraph talks about what we should do. Which paragraph talks about what we should do? Number 1, 2, 3, or 4?
4.
This is 4. We must take action quickly. That was you're right. It's also kind of what we should do. We should take action, but it also said here solution. I meant by that solutions, like what a solution, what's the pita of 1? Right, good, 3, paragraph 3. Okay, now when you write a paragraph, you want to use words like I think, for it's an opinion, you're writing your opinion here. So words like I think, as I see it, things like that. And it's an opinion, you want to use strong words like terrible or positive words like luckily. And you can ask some rhetorical questions, some questions like that you are asking the readers. Should we allow this to continue? You're trying to get everybody angry, against this sort of thing. Remember a while ago, we read this when she was only 16. She was only 16. We read this too. This was also an editor. This was actually the editor writing to people. It's an editor's letter, but it's also a letter trying to get people angry, get people to act. And now here, in this letter here, you have to, you have to think about what, you have to think about, you want to write the other people, you're a person, a citizen. Anyway, these are the 3 subjects. Okay. And I would like you all to write. You can write on a piece of paper. You can write on the computer. And I want you to write a letter. It can be short. It doesn't have to be as long as this, or it can be very long. But I want you all to choose 1, 2, or 3, or a different subject. Okay, on page 37, and to put it up on Classroom. Okay, so I want you to, so that's, I'm going to make it an assignment on your Google Classroom. Here I've got Grade Menashe, girls, classwork. I'm going to make you an assignment here. Okay. So please, it's called a letter to the editor. Letter to the
Mr.
editor. Yeah. I know that not everybody can do this because you don't have a computer. So if you can't do it, write it now. And when you come to school in 2 weeks, then you can give it to me. But if you can do this on Google Classroom, fantastic, okay? Okay, Zale girls, you have it. That's the end of the class. I'm gonna write this and you're gonna see it in your Google Classroom, okay?
Homework.
This is the homework. Please, write a letter to
There's no.
the editor about one of the subjects, topics,
Get
on
get loaded.
page, what page is that? Page, 37. Now, as you write, you want to go over this checklist. My letter is clear and well organized. I stated my opinion using language for expressing opinion. You say your opinion at the beginning. I supported my opinion with facts. I suggest a solution. Make sure you do a checklist. If you want to get 100, make sure you do all these things. Okay. I used rich vocabulary. I checked my grammar. I got feedback from a classmate. Whatever you write, you can give it to a friend and have your friend read it too. And have your friend give you ideas and tell you what's good or bad. Before you send it to me, send it to a friend and ask the friend what they think about it so that it's really perfect, okay? Then you go over it, you revise it. I revised and corrected my work.
I get that.
Okay, girls? Okay, girls, you can go to your next class now if you want. I'm gonna continue making this on Google Classroom, your assignment. Okay. So I'm gonna make this on Google Classroom. That was on page, what is it, page 17? I keep forgetting. Page 37. Page 37. Page 37. Okay. Does everybody have the book at home? No, we've already done. Okay. Yeah. Sign. And that's it. Okay, Yudit, any questions, Yudit?
No.
Okay, have you gone into Google? Do you have a computer?
Me?
Yes, do you have a computer at home?
No, I don't have.
Okay, so then you just write this. Try to write this letter to an editor about on a piece of paper, and then when you come back to school, you'll show it to me, okay? Or you could take a picture of it now and send it to me on WhatsApp or something like that. All right? Okay. Until then. Camera action.
Set potato.
No, the class is over. Okay, you can go to another class. I'm gonna just stay here, prepare my next class. Okay. What's that is? Hello. Who's here? Maybe. Hmm. Nama. Nama.
when are you finished with classes so that I can use the huge table there and start folding laundry to leave away?
Yeah, another one at 3. But after this, I'm free till 3.
It could have been dangerous, but I know you don't want to be bothered with my lovemaking.
Mm.
Goodbye, my love. What? You're being heard now? You don't know the meaning of that word? Shakespeare.